the host of the Marvel Plus channel, YouTube channel, and Marvel Plus Talk. Me and Will are back today to do a TV weekly series. Of course, the new What If has come out. So, Will, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. And the first episode we have here for What If is, of course, Captain Carter. We're the First Avenger. And what do you thought about this episode?
I wasn't a big fan of it, to be
Mm.
honest. But how did you feel about it?
I guess overwhelmed, at least. Um, I think overall the performances were very good. I mean, Josh Keaton did a really good job as Steve Rogers, and I think if this episode was like a 1 hour um tale, I think it could have been more satisfying for me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. One of the major issues I have is the pacing of the story. It felt like they were cramming the plot equivalent of the first Avenger into 30 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah, and there were interesting things that they like. A what if story for this was very interesting. I just wish they took the concept forward, um, which we'll get into. And yeah, I hope the pace will get better in these episodes. Hopefully, um, I just think this one just didn't hit the park running. I would say. Um, and I guess the first thing we can get into is pretty much the opening titles. What you thought about the opening titles of What If? It was pretty good, actually. I really like Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher.
Yeah, no, he was good. Cast from Westworld. So,
Yes, Westworld was really amazing. Um, and then I kind of like how we kind of jumped right in, which that was the thing I was so surprised. We jumped right in the procedure of the Super Soldier formula, and a lot of different things. Like the big one was uh, Tommy Lee, Tommy Lee Jones' character died right off, and then we got the this other character, who who is his name? White. Hold on. Just find the other character's name.
the senator or something.
Yeah. Oh, Bradley Whiteford. That's his name.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny because he's from the first one shot from Agent Carter, so it was really cool they got him here to replace Tommy Lee Jones, and that was a very neat like diversion from the first Avenger.
Yeah.
So, and then but then the question is, um, the fact that the Hydra agent, exploded in the lab, you think the whole equipment will be destroyed easily, and somehow they like it was like okay to perform the procedure. Like I'm kind of shocked about that part.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know
like
how much
mm, that's true. Um, yeah, I mean it it's you have to disbelieve certain things, and then afterwards we get the classic scene where the senator complains that he wanted an army, but instead he got a girl, of course,
yeah.
and so it was very neat, like a flip flop of what we saw from the first Avenger and what happened with uh, Captain Carter. And then this is where I was kind of shocked about the pacing. Like afterwards, we see her doing you know, she goes to like a bar and drinks, and then like Stark like already gives her like um her suit and her shield, and I was kind of surprised we like, way jump into her being Captain Carter.
yeah, I think uh, they really needed to fit it into 30 minutes. So, uh, yeah, what do you think to like get her in the suit,
Mm.
like action sequences sooner?
Yeah, because I feel like jumping into the character into the superhero role was way too fast. I think it'd be kind of cool that just like Rogers in the First Avenger, how he was like a mascot for for America, like doing the
Yeah,
tours and stuff. I think that could have been like we can maybe change it where she's like like she does these like women pageants or something like that to support the war. I think that could have been an interesting direction
yeah. They
instead of
did.
this. Sorry.
They did reference that. They said the suit was what she was supposed to wear while she was doing that.
Yes. No, no, that's correct. I totally forgot about that line. Yes. Um, yeah, actually, we did mention that. And I just think we should see more of that than just like a one line
Yeah,
reference. Um, and it was actually cool. And well, okay. Anyway, um, and then it was very cool seeing the Red Skull. And by the way, um, the the Red Skull voiced by uh, oh man, where is Red Skull?
I
The
get the guy from Endgame back.
Yeah, he did a really great job of impersonating Hugo Weaving, and like I feel like that was the best thing about this episode for me is seeing more Red Skull,
Yeah,
and I just love it, and I like they didn't shy away of his like violent tendencies, and so I like the way they handle Red Skull, and I like his plot. Despite not having the Tesseract, um, he decided to do the other thing kind of similar to Hellboy in the first film with Rob Poland,
yeah,
bringing in a creature from another dimension. That was very cool. And and this plot, I it's kind of similar to the one from Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I don't know if you've seen that episode where
yeah,
that that Risco also was trying to bring something out from a dimension. So it was kind of cool to see this happen.
yeah. I there was a very brief moment where I was hopeful that they'd bring in Hive from Agents of Shield. I know you didn't watch Agents of Shield, but it's season 3 of the show that
Okay.
was about like branch of Hydra that was obsessed with this like old god who like had tentacles and stuff.
Mm.
So I really wanted Hive to step out, but I don't think Marvel Studios is going to acknowledge it with the ABC series. So
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, we'll just have to wait for a more like couple years, and then I think they. I mean, I feel like they're gonna do is like reinvent Hive for like a different way from the one from Agents of Shield. Um, I know, I know Hive. I stay like updated to Agents of Shield. I know who was it, Agent Ward became Hive. Like he was like
yeah, so Hive would like possess people.
okay.
The last person possessed was Ward.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think and I guess we can like later on we can discuss either this is canonical because that's another thing that's kind of brought up that apparently this is canonical with the movies.
Yeah, yeah. I think Loki opened the possibility for that. So
That's
this
true.
is just one of the branches of the multiverse.
Yeah. Um, and, and I mean we got Agent Carter here. Like we can actually see her in a multiverse in the film next year. So that
Yeah, she could show up.
yeah, so this is like actually setting up themes for the movie. So that's very true. Um, yeah, and of course, the creature coming in from the portal. A lot of people thinking that's the main villain for Doctor Strange too. Um, some other character that I'm blanking on as well. But anyway, um, But I guess the thing that I like the most about this episode is the relationship with Peggy and Steve. I really think Haley Atwell and Jess Keane really had great chemistry, and like you didn't feel like a detached from them. Like like you get worried when you're replacing an actor for this one particular character, and maybe they don't get the chemistry with this other character. I never felt that way. I think Haley Atwell and Josh Keaton did a really good job being the characters. Like, I think Josh Keaton, I was surprised he came back to do a Marvel thing, and he did a terrific job as Steve Rogers. I felt like he was perfect for that role. I mean, he's great as Spider-Man from Spectacular, and I thought he was amazing for this show. We think about that, Will.
Yeah, he did a good job. So Haley Atwell, but it's hard to like if you're an actor, it's hard to transition to voice acting as well. It's such a different skills.
Yeah.
She did a pretty good job. So
Yeah. And yeah, and I think I really like the character models for this animation. Like it fits with every character.
it wasn't crazy about.
Oh really? I guess my three favorite ones were Carter, Rescal, and I think Bucky, and that's it. I don't think the other animation didn't work with some characters. Like big one for me was Howard Stark.
Yeah.
I feel like he looked weird in the animation format.
I thought Steve looked really good.
Yeah.
Some of his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the animation style.
Yeah. I was thinking before the recording, I wish they kind of switch animation styles. Like one episode should be like anime, and then
that'd be fun, like multiverse, like Spider-Verse, the different styles for all the different universes.
yes, exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
And then like maybe like a Pixar like style as well. Like imagine that, like having some of the Pixar people like
Yeah.
make like that'd be kind of cool to see in the show.
Something about this animation style that just like looks cheap to me, which doesn't mean that it is cheap. But yeah, there's just something off about it.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's just I feel like it's like washed out, like,
yeah,
like you can make like you can use minimalism in animation, but here I feel like you don't have like you don't feel like you're in the environment of the world, like in movies when you see like no one walking in the streets, stuff like that, it makes it makes the city or the world empty, and it's like no one lives there. I feel like that was the problem about this episode for me.
I also like I feel bad for the animators because they're animating something that we're used to seeing in live action. Like you're never gonna capture that perfectly, but it was really frustrating to watch like the action sequences and they're like the way characters move, which is very cartoony.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, this is supposed to be like a version of a live action like universe, so it's weird to see.
Yeah, it's
Peggy Carter, like.
it was weird, and I think it was like weird for me to see her grown tall, like I, because I mean I'm not fun with this animation. I feel like they shouldn't done maybe more um revisions of this animation, like find the right animation that was perfect for this show. um it's like you need like a very distinct animation for your show, like Adventure Time has a very distinct animation, or Stark versus the versus the evil has a very distinct animation. Like you need that for these shows, so you could be different from the other shows. You're watching.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Um, let's see how next episode and then the next ones are, because this one was kind of like a grounded show, and I'm kind of curious to see like some of the cosmic stuff and the supernatural from Doctor Strange or Guardians of the Galaxy, and see how like the animation will be, because I think that's where the show will be the greatest in terms of the animation.
Yeah, I think I'll be a little more forgiving about the like physics of some like space monster or some like interdimensional thing.
Yes.
World War II.
Uh-huh.
And then there's just like, because it's animated, it's easier to make like really crazy visuals. So I can see something like Doctor Strange.
Yes. Yeah. No. That's the thing. This is just like the first test run. What we're seeing, and then the preceding episodes, I think we're gonna see more of the ambition of the animation. Yeah. And I guess we can get into what were the other things that intrigue you about this episode. I actually like Rogers becoming Iron Man, Hydra Stumper, as it's called.
I didn't
Wait, you didn't like it?
know. I just
Oh,
felt weird. I don't know. Like it's weird to have someone in an Iron Man suit like
hmm,
7 years before Tony Stark. It just kind of
oh,
it doesn't feel organic. It feels
okay.
um oh, like that thing you liked from the other Marvel property. Well, it's here now. It just
Mm,
feels kind of like slapped on instead of like a natural progression of like if this one thing changed. Because like Howard Stark wasn't building suits like that.
right. Um, I guess so, but I I kind of like I think for me it's like I like the concept of Steve becoming Iron Man, because in the first Avenger film he mentioned how more than the suit, of
Yeah,
towards Tony. And so it's kind of ironic in this episode, like he kind of does that, and Peggy like reiterates that line in this episode towards Stark, Howard. And so I like the idea, and Chris, like I kind of like the idea of like seeing Steve Rogers becoming the Iron Man, because we got one in Iron Man 3, the Iron Patriot, and like that could have been a great. I guess for me, if they maybe used the Iron Patriot for this episode, I think the idea and concept could have been way more fascinating and more explored. I think, because it could have fit with Stark, fit with Rogers. So, um, but yeah, I guess then also I like the idea of was it the Tesseract powering the suit? That was another thing I like from um that idea. Um, I also like the running gag of is the suit indestructible? And I love how towards the end that Starks like sees the suit and like, oh, it's indestructible. I love that running gag from the episode. So I don't know if you like that running gag.
sorry.
Mm, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, and then I guess to like uh what else we want to see? Oh, like we we got Bucky here, and like I'm kind of curious if like we're gonna see Bucky into the Winter Soldier in this multiverse, like because he didn't die in this episode. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay.
It's kind of weird that in the universe where Steve didn't become Captain America, things not better.
Yeah, that's true. I thought when the train exploded, I thought maybe we're gonna set up Steve Rogers going to be a Winter Soldier.
It did seem like that for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting, but no.
Nope, they didn't. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, it was. I mean, I guess it's kind of an interesting direction, but I mean, I couldn't see maybe Rogers be a Winter Soldier. That could have been a cool idea for a multiverse story, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we already know they're getting a second season of What If, so I think it would be cool if they just did like a continuation of like this storyline, but if it's the Winter Soldier and it's like Peggy and Steve instead of Steve and Bucky.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, it could have been. I think it'd be fascinating that Steve volunteers to become the Winter Soldier. I think that could be a cool way to set it different from Bucky. You know,
Yeah.
like because Bucky was forced into the Winter Soldier, where I like the idea of Steve with volunteering, right? That
Yeah,
could be.
well, the part of the Winter Soldier thing is that it was like still that I don't think why, but Steve definitely volunteered for that. So that if the change with the Soldier program is,
Yeah,
I could see them like him volunteering to be frozen between missions.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like it makes sense because think about it, like maybe Hydra, because we know Hydra, like we don't know the outcome of Hydra after Rescue dies, and we also left Sola like open-minded, like we didn't see what happened to Sola, so I think Hydra can still be a fact as as kind of like how it was in the original continuity of MCU, but the difference is I think Sola will hide very carefully with Hydra and like in like a shield way. Like Steve would like volunteers for like a shield project, but not knowing that the shield project is a Hydra project. I think that could have been a good way to like he's voluntary but also being tricked.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't think they're gonna do it. But...
No, I know it's a fan stream I could say, or but and I guess we're like towards the end of the episode, and I was shocked that they killed Rascal in such a brutal way. Having the squid kill it. Um, and I mean, it was very shocking. We see Captain Carter using a sword. That was kind of cool. Mm, it's from Captain Britain.
No, I just like I know Captain Britain stuff is pretty like there's a lot of like just watching like someone Jack the sword and the shield.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of curious why they never call Carter Captain Britain. I'm kind of like.
Maybe they're saving. Maybe they're actually gonna do.
True. I don't know. Like, I think this episode could have been a good way to introduce Captain Britain, but just in like, a different context because, like, everyone knows he's a mutant, and so because Marvel Studios has done that with several things that's not from, like the Avenger stuff, like the Iron Patriot I mentioned for Iron Man 3, that was for from Green Goblin. And they took that and give it to Rhodey for Iron Man 3. So I just, but, I just felt like, but I mean, you're right, Will, that they're like saving that for, potential Disney Plus show spin off for the X-Men universe, maybe.
Yeah.
And I guess I guess another thing that was uh kind of fun. I don't know if you've seen the '90s Spider-Man show, but like you're seeing a little bit of the '90s Spider-Man show. Do you remember how Captain America get like stuck? You know, stay like how you say, what's the word? Uh, be frozen, but in a different way. Um, him and sorry, what do you say?
I don't remember from the 90s Spider-Man.
Okay, so the '90s show had a Captain America, and instead of being frozen, he and Red Skull get stuck into like this dimensional portal, and like they're like stuck in limbo, you know.
Like a time limit?
Yes, exactly. And so it was interesting seeing that for Captain Carter, and like she too had the same thing. So it was kind of cool to see that for like another version of another Captain America, or a variant of a captain. So it was very cool. Because and that show, just minor spoilers, just for a quick thing. The Red Skull has a son, and that son becomes Electro. So just say, excuse me. So very interesting. So that was kind of cool to see. Instead of Carter being frozen, I like how they kept her in a dimension for those 70 years.
Yeah.
And I guess to kind of wrap things up, what you thought about the ending? I thought it was a good ending. Different.
Yeah.
And I mean, Samuel L. Jackson was back, and Jeremy Renner. They were good. I like the Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury character model. I think he looked. Yeah, I feel like he looked the best out of certain characters as well. And I like how Carter's like last line is like what was it? The war is over, I guess. That's what you say. Hold on. Let me see. Um, I'm just trying to remember what she said towards the end of the episode, because like
something about like, of course we won or something.
Yeah, something like that. She asked Nick Fury, the war is, the war have won, and then I think she said or something like that. And it was cool to see, instead of like in the first Avengers, we see Loki. I like how like Project Pegasus was for Carter.
Mhm.
So that was pretty cool. I guess like to wrap things up. Overall, Will, are you excited to see the next episodes for the show? And you think this one episode, like this episode one, did enough to get the ball running for you in terms of this show?
Not really for me personally. Um, I would have liked more of a framing device with the washer.
Yeah.
They really rushed to get into the Peggy Carter storyline. They could have had just like an opening thing with the washer, even just like a shot of him with the washer all the time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, because we already seen one in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, right? And like I don't know. It was just weird not to see like the full Watcher, but whatever. Like we had to keep him like ominous, right? So to keep it cool, you know. Um, yeah, I do agree with that, Will. And then for me, I think this episode was okay. It didn't hook me right away with the show. I think I want to see the next episode and kind of judge it by itself. If the second one does good, um I think we're in a good position for the show. I'm trying to wonder what's like the next episode. I like did they confirm that? Like
I have no idea.
um
What the episodes are about. I
yeah.
imagine the T'Challa, Star-Lord, and Zombie ones are pretty early on since they put those on the marketing.
That's true. I That'd be kind of cool to see that, like the second episode, being the Black Panther becoming Star Lord thing, because that'd be a satisfying way to see one last time of Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, or the character in this alternate version. Well, anything else you want to say? Well, that we kind of got everything from this episode. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to this podcast. Me and Will be back next Sunday for another What If podcast discussion. Oh my God, I cannot talk today. But as always, hit that subscribe button and have a good week. Bye, guys.